Yo, what's up? I'm Silent and today it is time for the long-awaited CapCut tutorial. So, today's video will probably be a bit long, so I will split it up into segments. The timestamps will be in the description. First off, we will start with just the basics of editing. So, first off, drag your clip into CapCut. You can use Control and then scroll to zoom in your timeline. And you just use this thing, just drag it around on your preview. This right here is like volume, so you can adjust it. See, now it's very loud. And now it's silent. You can use your arrow keys to go one frame at a time. And when you select a clip, you will get all of these different adjustments. They should be pretty self-explanatory, but basically in transform, you can adjust scale. You can see how many percent. Let's set it back to 100%, which is normal scale. Canvas is basically just like, if I scale this down, there's a background. So here you have blur, here you have color. We can have the background of the clip as color. Let's say red. Pattern, there's different patterns. We can have the background as like this checker thing. None, there's just no background to it. Inside audio, you can just, it's very simple, you can adjust this. So now it's a normal volume because it's a 0. Fade in, you can see down here, this black thing over the audio. Yeah, it basically just adjusts how long the fade in of the sound is, and the same goes for fade out. So if I scroll all the way to the end and do fade out, you can see there's a black thing. Yes. Reduce noise is, let's say you're outside filming and there's a lot of wind, it just basically removes the wind. And channels, I just don't use that because like it can break your audio. Speed, so this is normal speed. It looks very normal. Then I want it to be slower, so I set it to 0.7. See, now it's slower. And so if I make it like very slow, like 0.3, it looks like almost laggy. It doesn't really for this video because I've got motion blur on the clip, but like it should for the most part look kind of laggy. So what you do to fix that is use smooth slow-mo. Every time you slow a clip, use smooth slow-mo. Most of the time, optical flow will be the best. By the way, use Control plus B to split a clip. I select my clip here, make it like 0.3 speed. As you can see, it's slow here, looks kind of laggy. So then I enable smooth slow-mo and use optical flow, which you should normally do. As you can see, it looks smoother. Right here, when I go out of the shop, I move very fast, right? Like my aim moves pretty fast. So let's say I slow this. Also, if you go into speed, you will see these little white things. You can drag them to like slow it. So I have it at very slow speed, and see it looks very laggy. Then I enable smooth slow-mo and use optical flow. Okay, so now the clip is slowed. So when I move here, my crosshair gets like blurred out. As you can see, like the creeper gets blurred out and different stuff, which looks kind of weird. See, my crosshair like moves a lot, and here it gets completely distorted, if you can see. Which look, why is my crosshair over there? I don't really want that on my video, not gonna lie. So, if that happens to your clip, you should use frame blending, because there are no errors in frame blending. But it does not look as smooth. It's like it still looks kinda laggy, whereas optical flow does not look as laggy. But, if we look, my crosshair completely stays the same. And so, for example, if I hit, my sword goes here, and I use optical flow, the hotbar will get completely destroyed. Okay, now we have animation. This should be pretty self-explanatory. You press on this and it animates it. This is in animation, so it's in the beginning. All these different ones. You can adjust speed, very slow, zoom in, or very very fast. Kind of smooth, right? Yeah. Same goes for out. Zoom in, out thing. Rotate out. Or just normal rotate, slide right, all these different things. Combo, this one is very cool. Let's see. So like it kind of like transitions between the clips, you know? And that's basically what combo does. I'll just not explain it in detail because this is very like time consuming. Basically, LUT, do not think about that. We do not care about it. Temperature. This makes it blue. This makes it orange-ish. Okay. Tint. You can like see on the colors. It's purple and green. It's not as strong as the temperature. You can see very strong. Kind of subtle. Saturation. You think this makes it red, but like it just ups the saturation, like how much the colors pop. I would not recommend have this at very high because like it can make your video feel weird. Exposure, basically how much light there is. Contrast, how much contrast there is between the colors. This is like kind of crazy. It's kind of the same as saturation, but like different. Highlights, it's just how white the whites are, and shadow the same, but like for the shadows in it. And whites and blacks are like basically the same as shadow and highlight, but more. Brilliance, just like does random stuff. I don't really know what it is. Sharpen, never use sharpen. It looks so goofy. Also clarity, you don't need to use that. It's basically the same as exposure. Particles just adds noise, and fade just like makes it grayer, I guess. Vignettes puts like a vignette on it. Yeah. HSL is where you can adjust the colors of colors, I guess. Now that we've gone through all the settings to a video, I will just quickly show you through these things over here. These are like stock stuff that CapCut has. Very good things like this Nightcore thing, I don't know. Yeah, very good stuff. CapCut has a lot of different stuff. Like look, you can use this for like different stuff, I don't know. This also looks kind of smooth. I guess it's like a transition. In audio, CapCut is partnered with, like, it's made by the same people that made TikTok, so they have like a lot of TikTok licensed songs or whatever here. Also sound effects and stuff. Yeah. I've never used this ever. Text. It's basically just text. You can generate AI generate text. Here are a lot of text presets. Here are a lot of like other text stuff. Auto captions, they just like, if you're talking your video and you want subtitles, this makes subtitles for you. If we take a text thing, you have all these like color, you can adjust that here. You can adjust do I want my thing to be fat or not, this line here and italic and stuff. You can change the font here, like concise is what I've begun to use. Here are like some presets, like this, all that. Yeah, here are some effects. Blend is the same as video. Stroke is just this the outline of the text. Background is if you want a background, you can. Here you have it like as a rounded rectangle, which looks very clean. You can have like less opacity. See, now we kind of have the Minecraft name tag border thing. Glow is basically it just makes the text glow, I guess. Intensity is how intense it is, and range is how big it is. Look, very glowy. We have a shadow. It's basically just shadow. You can adjust all these. It's pretty self-explanatory. Angle is where the sun is, I guess. And curve just arches the thing. Do you look, now it's a circle, now it's an opposite circle. Very cool. Animations, there are some really cool animations for this. And loop is just like, they just keep on going. You can just speed and everything. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. Stickers are basically just overlays. Like now I have a pointer. Yeah, basically just PNGs. Effects are very cool. CapCut has really updated their effects thing. Like, look, see, I put this light sweep and then it just like boom, boom, like very cool. Random monochrome thing. See, now only some colors are displayed. Very cool. And scanning is also like a very cool thing. That looked very cool. Transitions is basically just transitions. So let me just cut up this real quick. So instead of just like a normal cut, we can have this an up transition. It's just like wonk, wonk. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's basically it for the basics of CapCut. Keyframes, everyone's favorite. Keyframes can do anything from moving objects to adjusting effects, but basically it is a screenshot of when you want something to happen. So let's say I take this white thing and I want it to be big and I want it to be small. So I would see this keyframe icon. This is a keyframe icon. I would see this at the scale thing. I would press it, then I will go a bit forward, and then I would make the scale less, like kind of like this, and then a new keyframe will appear. Now this looks, it gets smaller. Instead of it being smaller, I wanted to go from the bottom and go up. So I go a bit forward, and then I press this. This does all of the transform controls, adds a keyframe to that. So then I go to the beginning again, and I put this down. So I saved a position where it's down and a position where it's up. So it does like this. Cool, right? Okay, if you right click on the clip and press show keyframe animation, you can go to Y, because I did the Y thing, press this button, and then you can right click here and then do graphs and do different like adjustments. See, now it like kind of goes in slowly instead of just going linear in. Now it does like whoa. Or we can do ease out, which is basically the opposite. It goes fast in and then slows down. So you can like edit these here, like get different effects. Then I wanted to, right here I wanted to fly out. So I do like move it to the left, I guess. And then it is now my X position that needs to be changed. So I go graph and then ease. So I go here graph and then ease out, I guess. And then it looks like this. Actually, it's a bit too quick, so I just do it like this, and then it should be a lot slower. Yeah. Maybe I want it more like this. And then if I put a keyframe here, I should be able to make it like go a bit down so it looks kind of smooth, I guess. Yeah, very smooth. So now I have smooth animations. This is what keyframes does like in animation, but keyframes can be used for other stuff. So if I take Black Flash for example, and it is like really fast, so let me just make it slow, very slow, but I want it to like become quicker. So I go in the start, and here there is a speed. I put a keyframe, I go to the end, and I make it faster, and then it should become faster. Yeah, so I started off slow and it became fast. So basically, it's just keyframes are just screenshots of when something happens, and then when something else happens, and then it transitions between it. Now for the part that you've all been waiting for. It is now time for motion blur. Okay, so I have this clip right here where I fight this guy, and I want it to be smoother, so I want motion blur on it. So I just basically click motion blur, and then I wait for it to process. It might take some time. As you can see, it does blur. It does blur a lot, but it looks not that smooth. And so as you can see also, all these HUD items, like my paint display and stuff, gets completely screwed over. It just looks very bad. Which is why you should not use motion blur on clips. Do not use CapCut motion blur on clips. That's what I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not gonna tell you anything else about motion blur on clips. The thing that you can use motion blur on is, let's say you want to animate something. So let's say you want this to go from the bottom to like in the middle. Then you put a keyframe animation. Basically, we now cut this away. We create a compound clip. So we have this as one clip, and now we can apply motion blur. I would recommend about 70 and 70 as motion blur, because that tends to look good. But CapCut motion blur is not very good, as I've said before. But let's try 100 and 100. That can also look pretty good. You can always like adjust settings. So let's see. Let's say we want it only forwards and we want it twice. See, it looks kind of smooth, right? So you can use like these settings or whatever settings you want. It just depends, like, it's just a lot of trial and error, I guess. There's not really much more about it. If you do want motion blur on a video clip, I would not recommend it, but if you do want, you should have more blend than blur. Perfect. Okay, let's look now. It looks like a tiny bit smoother, but like it's not good. CapCut motion blur is just not good, not gonna lie. Let's just take a look at it frame by frame. Like, it's definitely more blurry, I guess you can say. Also, like, the bitrate sucks now. And because there's not much like genuine blur, more blend, it, instead of like blurring this, like, there's a little bit of glitchiness, but like not that much, I guess. Like, there could have been a lot more. It's not even worth trying CapCut motion blur, in my opinion. Like, it's even better to just use Techno's blur, not gonna lie. Like, I know Techno's blur sucks as well, but like, it's better. And yeah, basically, that's all I have to say about this CapCut tutorial. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on anything you don't know about CapCut, just write it in the comments and I will make a video for you. Yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.